What's good? I got a cool Stripe screenshot I took on Friday from my new AI agency. We made 6,090 bucks on Friday at 7:15. I took the screenshot. In a week, we made 8,000 bucks. The week prior to that, we made 2,300. I think over the last 4 weeks, we're at about $14,000. Now, I started this AI agency from scratch, from nil, 90 days ago. It was August when I started. I had the idea. I'm like, hey, you know what? I know people are buying into AI right now. I'm going to get a piece of this pie. And I also did it because a lot of the people that teach you how to sell AI aren't actually doing it. They're just making money off coaching, which I don't have an issue with unless you're coaching on something you haven't done, right? And so I was like, you know what? Let me do this shit. Let me prove that I could go and restart an agency and build it up from zero. What I want to give you here in this video, bang, these three things right here. Number one, what I don't do to get to 10 grand a month as fast as humanly possible. Number two, what I do. All right, I said do. I'm going to show you what I do. And number three, I'm going to show you what you should do. Right? I put need, but you really don't need to listen to anything online. I'll tell you basically the components of the business and the only things you actually should be focused on. Because the reality is, if you're not making 10 grand a month, 20, 30 grand a month with an agency or coaching business, the reality is you're just not working on the right things. And so that's why the first thing I want to start with is what I don't do, because I think that's more important than what I do. So we're on lovely Miro board over here, and you should be able to see my cursor right here. So what do I not do? Very, very important stuff. Number one, what I don't do is procrastinate. Completely misspelled that. I don't procrastinate. Now, what do I consider procrastination? Procrastination is spending all day feeling productive without actually moving the needle. Okay? What does this mean? This means reading books, listening to podcasts, watching a course. This means meditating. This means going to the gym. This means all these things that are procrastinating the work. Am I here to tell you that I don't go to the gym? No, I just came back from the gym. That's why I'm a little sweaty. I just came back from the gym. I meditate every day. I pray every day. I read a book every day or listen Audible when I'm in the truck. And so I do these things, but I understand the idea that these things do not produce revenue. They do improve my skill set and my mindset, which are two things that you can't grow a business without, but they're not directly attributed to generating revenue. And so what I don't do is try and feel productive by working on things that don't actually move the needle. Because the reality is, if you just need a gentle reminder, the only things that produce money are the following. I'll do it in red just for you, my friend. Leads, appointments, and deals. These are the only things that produce revenue. Generating leads, generating appointments, and closing deals. And if you're not doing any of these three things on a daily basis at a high enough volume, consistently over time, while refining the process and making it work for you, you'll never get to the goals that you have. And so what I don't do, again, is do things that make me feel productive. If you're working every day and you're not getting the results that you want, it's probably because you're procrastinating work with something that feels like work. But really, it's just cutting corners and beating around the bush of actually getting to work. Because we were all sold into this idea, man, running an online business, it's fun, dude. You can print money and have cool Stripe screenshots and be in an Airbnb hanging off a mountain and just be drinking freaking sparkling water all day. But when you're in the trenches, you realize that the work is actually very boring. Getting leads is boring. Booking appointments, damn, bro, is boring. Taking sales calls, it's not much dopamine. You know what the dopamine is? When you get that 5K paid in full, right? And we chase that. So don't allow your dopamine to become the work that doesn't actually work. Allow your dopamine to be in the work, like leads, appointments, and deals, to give yourself the reward of real dopamine, which is getting that payment, right? This is how I've basically brainwashed myself. And I do a reward system in my own brain. So it's like, hey, I booked 5 meetings. I'm getting Chipotle today, right? I make 10 grand today. I'm going to go book an Airbnb with my girl, right? And these are kind of the ways that I'm able to do the boring work every single day, which I just think is what most people struggle with, because we are living in a time, my friend, where you know everything that you have to do. Like, you probably know how to do outreach. You probably know how to sell roughly. You know how to book appointments, but why aren't you making the money you want to make? We have an abundance of information. We have ChatGPT in our freaking in our pocket that has infinite knowledge based on everything out there in human history. So what? You think you don't know what you should do? No, you know what you should do, but you're not doing it because you're procrastinating, because you're listening to podcasts when you should be really calling leads, because you're watching YouTube videos when you should be actually doing outreach. Are you doing outreach right now? Or are you listening to me talk? Right? Well, hopefully you keep listening to me talk because I'm going to give you the actual roadmap here. This should be the last video that you watch today before getting back to work. So it's very important what I don't do. I also don't do a lot of things that normal people do. Let me hit on this real quick. I don't think about partying. I don't think about girls or arguments with my girlfriend. I don't think about the NFL game today. I don't think about any of these things because I understand my priorities in life. And my priority right now is to get absolutely wealthy. And so I've eliminated everything that doesn't lead me towards that. And I think that's a big reason why people fail to do the work. Is their life is so cluttered and so fluffy with different things that they got going on that they don't have the time to do the work. You know, eliminate these things, right? Iman Gadzhi, I heard him say this, but there are other people that generated this quote. If you don't sacrifice for what you want in life, what you want in life becomes a sacrifice. When I started my business, for a year, I locked myself in my dad's extra room. I turned my bedroom into an office. I sold my car to buy a course. I cut off all my friends from high school and college. I stopped going out. I can keep going on this. I stopped drinking. I stopped procrastinating. I stopped overthinking. I stopped having imposter syndrome. I stopped dealing with self-doubt. I stopped doing all the things that were holding me back from getting everything that I wanted in life. And when I made that decision, making money didn't feel very difficult because I woke up every day and I did the things that actually drove the needle, which is getting leads, booking appointments, closing clients, and actually delivering for them, right? Now I can make separate videos when it comes to service delivery and how I get people results using my AI system. But that's for another time because you need to know how to make money. And that's why you click this video, right? So what do I do on a daily basis? Well, very simple on number 2 here. Very, very extremely simple, actually. What do? I wake up. I drink coffee. Oh, I'm lagging a little bit. I wake up, I drink coffee, and then I get leads. The first thing that I do every single day is something to generate leads, aka attention. Dude, I tell people the formula to making money is very simple. Just ask yourself these couple of questions. Let me just write these out so it's a little bit quicker here. You have to ask yourself these questions, okay? I'm actually just going to put this down like this. Number 1, are new people learning that I exist every single day? Easy question, right? But answer this truthfully. Are new people learning that I exist every single day? That's the first question I ask myself when I wake up. And what do I do to get new people to learn that I exist every single day? Well, there's only 3 possible things that you can do. You can either run ads to make sure that every single day new people are learning that you exist. You can make content so that every single day new people can see your thumbnail on the YouTube homepage or see your reel when they're doom scrolling. Or you can do outreach and directly message somebody so they know you exist. If you are not doing this consistently every single day, you just don't want it, my friend. You really don't. You don't want to make money. You need to understand clearly. Because think about this. I've made sacrifices in my 20s that most people will never make in their 20s. And the only reason I was willing to make those sacrifices is because of the future that I knew I wanted to have. I knew I never wanted to be concerned about money. I knew that I never wanted to work for somebody. I knew that I wanted to have actual freedom and peace in my life. And I prioritized those goals over the short-term procrastinating things that would have held me back from getting there, which is the video games and the porn. And, you know, I still play video games here and there. That's not the point that I'm getting at. The point that I'm making to you, my friend, is that you need to know your why, right? You need to know why you should wake up every single day, sit in front of your laptop, and do something that's boring as shit. Why are you going to do it? And let me give you a hint. If you're not consistently every single day, even when you're not getting the results you want, if you're waking up and you're not sending outreach, making content, running ads, you're not calling leads, DMing, texting them to book appointments, you're not showing up to sales calls, handling objections, and getting people to pay you money, it's because you don't know your why big enough. If you look at the notes app in my phone, I clearly defined by the time I'm 25 years old what life I want to live, how much money I want to have, what car I want to drive, what I want to look like, who I want to be with, what relationships I want to have, how I want to help people, how I want to serve people. I clearly defined that. And so my why is clear as day. And I know the second that I wake up and I decide, you know what, I'm not going to do the hard thing. I'm not going to go to the gym. I'm not going to eat right. I'm not going to call leads. I'm not going to make content or send outreach. I am going to sacrifice that future life. But I told myself I'm not willing to take that sacrifice. I'm not willing to sacrifice that future life that I want. Okay? And so the first question, are new people learning that I exist every single day? If the answer is no, if no, very simple. You need to create a new baseline for yourself. Let me give you a perspective, my friend. Let me give you a perspective. Every single day, I send about 5,000 outreach messages. I'll pause there for a second. How many do you send every day? 10? 100? 1,000? Is it even every day? Is it consistent? If it is it working for you? Or have you not tested a new script? Right? And you can apply this to every asset of your life. It could be content, it could be ads, it could be the gym. Have you been consistent? Are you doing enough volume? You need to raise the standard and the baseline for yourself. The only reason I might possibly be making more money than you, and if you're making hundreds of millions of dollars, you're not watching this video. But the only reason I might be able to make more money than you is not because I'm different or more handsome or more jacked than you, or I know some secret thing that you don't. You know, when I was starting my business, I always thought these guys that I see online that are making millions of dollars, man, they know something I don't, right? Like they know something. Like what do they know, man? And you know what I realized after doing this for 3-4 years and making a lot of money in the space? They're no different from me. And I was able to humanize a lot of these big guys that you watch online by going and meeting them and seeing them face to face and knowing that, dude, if they don't put on deodorant, they stink too. They're human, bro. You humanize them and realize the only reason they're ahead of me is because, number one, the first question, more new people are knowing they exist every single day. The second question, more new people are booking appointments to give these people money every single day. And every single day, they are making more offers to get people to pay them. You tell me how many offers you make every day, I'll tell you how much money you make. Think about this. Sit on this, bro. If you really want to change your life, ask yourself the question, how many offers am I making to new people every single day? It's a very simple question. Every day, how many people are you offering to take their money from? Is it 0? Well, how do you ever expect to make any money if you're not giving a single person an opportunity to pay you money? How do you expect to change your circumstance, bro? Real shit. That's just the numbers. Like, what, it's just gonna fall from the sky? No. Are you making one offer a day? You're telling one person every day, this is what I can offer you. It's $5,000. Are you doing it to one person every day? If you're doing it to one person every single day, you're probably making some good money, my friend. But most aren't. Most are making one offer a week, a month. Set a new baseline for yourself. And create a new version of yourself where you're not satisfied with the current volume that you're doing right now, with the amount of content you're posting right now, with the amount of outreach you're sending right now, with the amount of offers you're making right now. These are the things that the people that are absolutely fucking crushing it in life are doing. They raise their baseline. They raise their standards. Every stage in my entrepreneurship journey, I have become a new person. Not because I wanted to, but because it was required. Go look at my old videos. I'm a different person. I go talk to somebody from high school. They're like, bro, who even are you? Like, you're complete. The way you carry yourself is different. Your chest up, you're confident, the tonality, the way you speak. It bleeds through. As you make more money, you literally transform who you are. The way you speak, the way you think, the beliefs you hold, the baseline you set for yourself, the habits that you have, these are the things you need to work on, my friend. And I'm telling you this from personal experience, dude. Like, I wish I knew this stuff when I started. Holy crap. So create a new baseline for yourself, man. Sending 10 outreach a day. Like, how do you ever expect to make enough money to become wealthy, to take care of your family, to get the home that you want, to get the car that you? You're gonna end up at a job, bro. And I couldn't allow it for myself. And that's why the baseline I set for myself today, I'm sending thousands of messages so new people know that I exist every single day. And it doesn't matter if I suck at selling or if I have the worst offer on earth. If enough people know who I am and I make enough offers, people will give me money. I'll be okay. So number one, are new people learning that I exist every single day? And the number two question that you know is, how many offers am I making every day? It's such a simple question. I told this dude, I mentioned this in a group call to my coaching clients. And I remember my boy Constantine, I asked him, I'm like, yo, write in the chat, like, how many offers are you making on a daily basis? You have to audit yourself, bro, especially when you run a business. You're so in the trenches that you can't see what you're doing at a high level overview, right? That's why it's so easy to give other people that are behind you advice, but it's hard to take your own advice and know what to do when you're in your own business. And so when you're in the trenches and you're grinding and you're sending outreach and you're learning and you're watching YouTube videos, you're buying coaching and courses, do you ever stop and ask yourself, how many offers am I making every day? Just do an audit. Make the new base, make at least one offer every single day. Find at least one person, very simple framework, just find one person and give them an offer to pay you money every single day. If that's all you do, I don't care if your offer sucks. I don't care if your outreach sucks. I don't care if your content sucks. This is what allows you to make money, my friend. Okay? So every day I wake up, I pour down a coffee. I take way too much nicotine and caffeine, but I get leads. I get attention every day. I do content. I do outreach every single day, and I book appointments. I call my leads, and I book them onto a Zoom call. And I take Zoom calls every day, and I figure out exactly what my ideal clients are going through, what they're struggling with. I figure out how I can help them, and I sell them that solution. I sell them that solution. That is probably the biggest thing you need to hear. If you're not doing this on a daily basis, no wonder you're not making the money you want to make. If you're spending all day working on automations and figuring out make.com and AI things to sell because it's the new big wave, there's a reason you're not making the money you want to make, my friend. So this is what I do. And the third thing I'll give you is what you should do. Okay? There's a couple components to my business that I had to do to be able to make $6,000 in a day. And I'm going to give these to you here. Just at a high level overview, this is my business. Offer, outreach, VSL, setting, sales, and delivery. This is your business in a nutshell, okay? And any one of these components inside of your business can be a potential bottleneck and a constraint that holds you back from growing. The way that you grow your business should not be taking all of this and trying to hit at all of them at once. That's why most people fail. You're trying to refine your offer and nail in your offer. Then you're trying to figure out outreach and do it on multiple different platforms. Then you're trying to make a VSL and you make a new one next week. Then you're trying to figure out appointment setting and the best way to go about that. Then you're trying to learn about sales and how to close a deal. Then you're trying to figure out how to deliver for clients. This is the number one thing that holds people back. You're worried about something that hasn't even happened yet. Let me spit some game on you, my friend. If you have no clients right now, the last thing that you should do is be concerned with how you're going to get them results. If I show you your business in a nutshell here, you need to treat this as a ladder, a step-by-step process where you only move on to the next number once you've made that exact one that you're on work. And so if you don't have an offer yet, you shouldn't be concerned about client delivery. If you're not doing outreach, enough of it every day, consistently every day, and with a script that actually works every day, you shouldn't be concerned about how to operate a sales call. If you haven't made a VSL and you haven't made any type of educational content to show people what it is that they're even going to get your help with and be able to buy from you, you shouldn't be concerned about appointment setting. The way that I was able to grow this business in 90 days from zero to making $6,000 in a single day in profit, how did I do that? It's not by concerning myself with every single component of the business. There is something that is known as the theory of constraints. And in actual English, what this means is that at any given point inside of your business, there is one big constraint that's holding you back from 10xing the business. You need to do an audit of your own business and what you're building, the agency you're building, and see what is the constraint. If your offer sucks and you're making one offer a day to people and nobody is saying yes, it's pretty reasonable to say that your offer is your constraint. If you're sending 10 outreach a day, 10 outreach messages a day, and you're making $15,000 a month, it might be reasonable to say, without knowing your other numbers, that if all you did was learn how to go from sending 10 to 100, you might be able to double, triple, 5x your business. If you have a good offer and you're doing outreach and you're doing setting and sales, but nobody's closing because they don't trust you, because they're getting on a sales call and they're asking you, who even are you? How can you help me? How are you different? And they're cold. It's reasonable to say that the biggest constraint is your VSL. And by VSL, what I really mean here is building, people call them sales assets, building content pieces. I don't care if it's on a Loom video. I don't care if it's on YouTube. I don't care if it's on a website or a landing page. I don't care if it's in a Google Drive folder. You need content that can allow your prospects and people that you're going to make an offer to understand before you ask them for money exactly what you do, exactly how you can help them, exactly how it's different from things they've tried in the past, exactly how it can solve the problem they think about every single night before they go to bed, and exactly how it can get them to where they want to go. And if you could show them that through content before they even speak with you, the likelihood that they give you money goes up exponentially. It's not linear, it's exponential. I made a VSL for my new offer where I sell to realtors. This offer that I was able to get to, we're at like 13, 14 grand a month. I made a VSL last week because it was the biggest constraint. I made a 25-minute VSL. I posted the VSL and I had an offer that worked. I was doing outreach and I got somebody to go to the new VSL and watch it. And they decided, hey, Christian, skip the appointment setting. Don't call me. Hey, Christian, skip the sales call. I'm going to get on a call with you and I'm going to pay you $5,000. And that's exactly what a realtor did. They got on the call and they told me, Christian, I watched your video. You know exactly what you're talking about. You can solve the exact problem I have. I want to work with you. You don't have to sell me. And he proceeded to give me his credit card and give me $5,000. And the only reason was because the VSL was the biggest constraint in my business. So let's say you have all of these, but you're sending outreach, you have a VSL in place, your offer's pretty solid, you've tested it out, but you're failing to book appointments. Appointment setting is reasonable to say it's the biggest constraint in your business. Let me give you a new baseline, my friend. When I send outreach and I send somebody a message, there's two ways to format your outreach. You could either lean towards desire or you could lean towards pain. What does that mean? Let's say that you're selling an AI system that can help a roofer close more deals. Your outreach message that you can test should either lean towards desire, what that roofer desires, or should lean towards pain, what that roofer is struggling with. Think about it like this on extremes. I like to think on extremes. What is the extreme desire a roofer has? A roofer's desire is probably to be able to get more roofing jobs without lifting a finger and only dealing with people that are ready to buy. That's their desire, to be able to get to 7 figures or whatever their deepest desire is. What if in our outreach we were able to say that we had an AI process, which by the way is the #1 way to sell an agency offer today. The second I started pivoting my messaging to saying, hey, I have an AI solution that can help you get X, Y, and Z desire. people bought it up like hotcakes, bro. Everybody's interested in AI. But if you're able to lean into that desire and tell a roofer, I built a system that means you no longer have to deal with leads, you no longer have to blow money on ads, you no longer have to do all these things, and it can get you appointments with people ready to buy a new roof every single day, it's going to increase their curiosity, and they're going to want to reply. Or maybe you lean into their pain. And you tell them like, hey man, I'm not sure if you're dealing with all these crappy leads that you're getting from all these different marketing agencies that you work with. Or hey man, I'm not sure if you have inconsistent months because you're just relying on referrals or word of mouth. Understanding their actual problems. How do I understand their problems? You can go to ChatGPT, but what I'll tell you is, man, get on the phone with them. Go talk to them. Go figure out, man, what is it that you're struggling with? I'd love to figure out a potential solution for other roofers as well. Just go ask them. Just go ask them what they want. I don't sell something that I want to sell to realtors. I sell something that they want to buy. I'm not the greatest salesman. I just sell something for $5,000 that they already want to buy, which is the solution to their problems in the most efficient, easy, and simplest way for them to get them to the desire that they want. You see? And so that's how I do the outreach. But to set a new baseline for you, I'm sending thousands of outreach messages a day, right? And if you want to grow your business, just like set that as the new baseline. You're doing 10, set the new baseline. Dude, if I wake up and I'm not sending 200, 500 new messages to people that don't know me, I will not get to where I want to go. And you set that as the baseline. You become a new person that could go and do that level of input. How? You go figure it out. You get AI to do the outreach for you. You go hire a VA. You go use a software. You go use a tool. You figure it out. It's the number one skill an entrepreneur can have. It's just figuring stuff out, right? Every single time I send an outreach message, and for every couple I send, I get an interested lead. The second they tell me they're interested, my job is to call them. And I don't call them once. I call them, and if they hang up, I call them right back. It's called a double dial. I double dial them. And if they don't answer both dials, guess what I'm going to do tomorrow? I'm going to call them again. Not once, but twice. And if they don't answer, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to call them the next day, and the next day, and the next day, and the next day. And I'm going to call them twice every day for a week straight, because I want to book appointments. And I know that I need to get people on an appointment to make more offers every single day to get the actual life that I desire. Right? I'm preaching to you right now, man. This is the stuff that you don't want to hear, but you need to, if you actually want to make money. If not, you're probably off this video already. Let's keep it moving. You need to have an offer that's nailed in, and remember the theory of constraints here. Just figure out the thing that's holding you back from 10xing. Is it outreach? Can you 10x the amount of outreach messages you're sending? Is it your offer? Can you make a more irresistible offer? Can you reverse the risk on the offer? Can you make the offer more desirable or solve their pain in a more easier, elegant way that they haven't tried before? Is it your VSL? Can you learn how to speak in a way that actually drives people to take action and shows them that you actually know what you're talking about and you can produce results? Is it your appointment setting? Can you go from calling leads maybe once to 7 times, 14 times before you let them go? Is it sales? Do you know how to handle objections, or do you let people tell you that they have to think about it or talk to their wife or sleep on it? Or you send them an invoice. Like, yeah, man, I'll just send you the invoice over email, and then you hope and pray they pay. They never pay. They never pay. Is sales your constraint? Is learning how to actually get somebody to give you their credit card info and pay on the call, is that your constraint? If it is, you spend all of your time fixing that constraint. Is it delivery? Right? That's a whole nother conversation. But you figure out what your constraint is. And these are the only things that you should care about every single day. Making money online is boring. That's what people don't tell you. And making money, being able to scale a business, it's not watching YouTube videos like this, my friend. It's not listening to podcasts. It's not spending all day building some automation. It's not building a website. It's none of those things. Focus on revenue generating activities. Wake up, make a coffee, go do some form of attention generating. Go get attention. Go post a piece of content. Go send an outreach message. Go run an ad. I wouldn't run ads until you're at 30 grand a month, by the way. A lot of people blow their money on ads. I do outreach and content. Those have always been my bread and butter. And it allows me to operate at like a 95% profit margin. But regardless, every day you need to generate more attention. And if you're doing things to generate attention, but they're not working, big thing I get, Christian, I'm sending outreach messages. I'm doing enough. I'm doing 100 a day, which isn't enough, obviously. But it's not working. People aren't responding. Hey, Christian, I'm posting content. Nobody's watching. Nobody's booking a call. Nobody's buying. If you're not getting the output that you desire from the input, content, outreach, or ads, if you're not getting the output from that input, it is simply due to a lack of skill. That is it. It is unreasonable. This is unpopular advice. It is unreasonable, improbable that you, if you have zero skill set, you've never ran a business before, if you believe you can get similar results to me when I restarted this business and I went from zero to a $6,000 day in 90 days, it is unreasonable. It is borderline insane for you to think that you deserve to get the same results that I did in such a short time frame. Because people online will come out and they'll tell you I went from zero to 100 grand a month, 30 days. And then if you'll go try for 30 days, you won't make a damn dollar. And you'll think these guys know something I don't. No, that's not what it is. I've spent 4 years every single day sending outreach, making content, calling leads, taking sales calls, handling client fires that come up, firing people, hiring people, losing money, making money, spending over $100,000 on coaching, courses, masterminds, anything to improve my skill set to get to the point where I can go and start a new business and in 90 days take it to over a 6-figure a year run rate. That's what you don't see. That's that secret sauce. That's that magic pill that you're looking for that it seems like everybody else online has. It's not something hidden. It's not a freaking, if you've ever seen Kung Fu Panda, you know the secret dragon scroll when he opens it up and it's just a reflection of himself? That is the secret. It is yourself. And you'll see yourself right back in that reflection and say, hey, the reason it's not working is because I am not skilled enough yet. The number one way you will fail is blaming external circumstances for the lack of results you're gaining. Never, ever, I never, ever, ever point the finger outwards. Say, hey, the outreach isn't working because this platform sucks. The outreach isn't working because these clients, they just don't get it. The sales calls aren't converting because they're just broke. The clients aren't getting results because they just suck. This is the stem, the root of a scarcity victim mindset that will lead you to nowhere land, to getting a 9-to-5 land, to putting the fries in the bag land. That's where that's going to take you, my friend. But the second you can go, which bro, it's difficult for you to build the muscle to do this, to point the finger back at you. Say, hey, the reason it didn't work is because of me. I am not skilled enough yet. This is the number one decision you have to make, is being able to decide and commit, starting now, everything that doesn't go the way that I want, which means I do an input and I don't get the output that I want in return. It is my own fault. This is something that 99% of humans can never do. Everybody will blame politicians. They'll blame the economy. They'll blame other people for the results that they're getting. And the thing that's changed my life is being able to point the finger inwards and say, you are the reason it's not working. And when you have the courage and you're humble enough to blame yourself for it, you'll then be able to work on the skill that it requires to make that same input produce the output and the outcome that you want in your life, dude. And so when the outreach wasn't working for me, you know what I did? I didn't say it's this person's fault or this platform's fault or this script's fault. I'm not good enough yet. I'm going to go figure it the hell out. And I'm going to go figure out how to make it work. All work works. Everything out there works. Cold calling works, ads work, DMs work, this offer works, that offer works, this VSL style works, this other funnel works. Everything works, but nothing will work for you until you're skilled enough to produce the output from the input that you're doing. And the goal to getting good is number one, learning from others, number two, putting in the time, giving it enough time, and number three, doing the reps every single day. And if you can do those things, success is very simple, my friend. But it's not meant for everybody. Not everybody will get there. Most don't. And if you watch my channel, I don't want you to be one of them. I don't want you to be one of them that is never able to live the life that they want. I've been able to radically change my life starting at 19 years old. I'm about to turn 23 now. And in a few weeks, I'm going to go up to Georgia, to a cabin in Georgia with my girl, and spend a week there to reflect and think about what the next couple of years have in store for me. You need to put your head down and do the work. Get attention every day. Book appointments every day. Make offers every day. And if you could stick through it long enough, the period where you suck and you don't deserve to get the results because you haven't put in the time, you haven't learned from others' mistakes, and you haven't done the reps long enough to be good enough to produce the results. If you can stick through that period, which I call the period of eating shit. I had to eat shit for a year. I had to wake up and work 10 hours a day for a year and get paid $0 in return for it. I didn't get paid in monetary currency, but I got paid in skill set. And that year of eating shit built me into the person that had the skill set, the mindset to be able to go and get anything that I wanted in my life. I hope you got value out of this video. And if you did, I'd love some feedback. Let me know what you think. Let me know what content you'd like to see. And I thank you for watching, my friend. I'll see you real soon.